Productivity is not about how many hours you work or how many tasks you complete, but how much you accomplish. To be productive, it is important to manage your time, attention, and energy effectively. The most productive people manage all three elements well, allowing them to work deliberately and with intention throughout the day. Perhaps the most important lesson in productivity is knowing why you want to be productive in the first place. Why is it important for you to be productive? Your deep values, purpose, and goals will help you implement productivity tactics. Investing countless hours in becoming more productive, or taking on new habits or routines, is a waste if you don't actually care about the changes you're trying to make. Not all tasks are created equal. Put another way, there are certain tasks in your work that, minute for minute, lead you to accomplish more. Productivity isn't about doing more things, it's about doing the right things. Examples of activities that have the highest return on time invested are learning and developing new skills, tackling challenging projects, planning, working out, meditating, and spending quality time with loved ones. While activities such as attending unnecessary meetings, keeping up with social media, constantly checking emails, and reading news offer little to no value. Here's a simple 3-step process to have a productive day or week. 1. At the beginning of the day or night before, identify 3 to 5 tasks that you would like to accomplish. Be mindful of your schedule for that day. 2. Set 2 alarms during your workday to check in with yourself and ask the following questions. Do I know my 3 most important tasks for the day? Am I on track to achieve those tasks? 3. At the end of the workday, reflect on your day by asking yourself, did I accomplish what I intended to? How can I improve tomorrow? Throughout the day, your energy levels can fluctuate significantly. You may experience an energy boost after drinking coffee but then feel a crash later on. In particular, the early afternoon can be a time when energy levels plummet if you haven't taken care of your body's needs. Poor diet and inadequate sleep can contribute to burnout, causing your productivity to suffer, even if you manage your time and attention well. To optimize your productivity, focus on high-impact tasks when your energy levels are at their peak, and reserve lower-impact tasks for when your energy levels dip. Productive people not only manage their time and attention but also understand how to manage their energy levels. By learning to work in sync with your body's natural rhythm, you can work smarter, not harder. Everyone procrastinates. Procrastination is simply human nature. Across scores of surveys, about 95% of people admit to procrastinating. The other 5% are lying. The more aversive, unattractive, a task or project is to you, the more likely you are to put it off. Tasks that are boring, frustrating, difficult, unstructured, ambiguous, and lacking personal meaning or intrinsic rewards are more likely to be procrastinated on. The more of these attributes a task has, and the more intense they are, the less attractive the task becomes. However, the highest impact tasks are usually the most aversive and require more time, attention, and energy, making them valuable and meaningful despite their difficulty. The back-and-forth interplay between our brain's limbic system and prefrontal cortex is what leads us to make decisions. For example, our limbic system wins when we decide to down that unhealthy cheeseburger and fries or order a donut with our morning coffee. Procrastination is another example of our limbic system taking control, as it often feels good in the short term. However, a strong prefrontal cortex is essential for productivity, as it helps us resist these impulses and focus on higher impact tasks. From an evolutionary standpoint, the much stronger limbic system has been around for millions of years, while the prefrontal cortex has only been around for thousands of years and is much weaker. Since the two systems are responsible for both logic and emotion, they're jointly responsible for some of the most remarkable innovations known to humankind, including language, the printing press, the light bulb, the wheel, and the internet. 2 strategies to beat procrastination. 1. Build a strong prefrontal cortex by taking care of fundamentals like diet, sleep, exercise, and meditation. 2. Find harmony between the limbic system and prefrontal cortex by aligning your values, purpose, and goals with your highest value activities. According to researchers, brain scans of participants were monitored as they contemplated their future selves and total strangers such as Taylor Swift. Surprisingly, the same areas of the brain were activated in both scenarios. This has a huge impact on your productivity. The more you see yourself like a stranger, the more likely you are to give your future self the same workload that you would give a stranger, and the more likely you are to put things off to tomorrow for your future self to do. It's so easy to commit your future self to things your current self wouldn't want to do. While it's important to not be unfair to your future self, one of the awesome things you can do is treat your future self, whether that means saving for the future, saying no to eating pizza tonight, working out, learning calculus, putting on sunscreen, flossing, reading more, or leaving some money in your coat pocket to find 6 months later. You'll feel incredible later on. When you put something off or waste time, you're almost always being unfair to your future self. As far as productivity is concerned, our brain is unprepared for the challenges of technological revolution. The internet can absolutely obliterate your productivity if you're not careful. While the internet is fun and stimulating, it will almost always try to tempt you away from working on the highest impact tasks. Compared to your high impact tasks, the internet is drop-dead sexy. It's one of the least boring, frustrating, and difficult things out there, and it's also insanely rewarding, and in an immediate way, a deadly combination for fostering addiction and procrastination. Internet is basically the world's largest candy store for your limbic system. With every tap and click, your limbic system receives a steady stream of stimulation. Internet engages all of our senses, and to make matters worse, it engages them simultaneously. To become more productive, it's important to see the internet as a nicety, not a necessity. On a side note, if you are interested in gaining back 13.6 years of your life in an instant, quit watching TV. According to studies, the average American adult watches 5 hours and 4 minutes of television every single day. Assuming you live until 80 and start watching TV at 10, that adds up to 13.6 years of your life. It's hard not to feel productive when you're busy all day long. But busyness does not translate into productivity if it doesn't lead you to accomplish anything. Longer working hours causes stress and anxiety because they give you less time to recharge and refocus. One study found that when you work 60-hour weeks, in order to accomplish 1 more hour of work, you need to work 2 hours of overtime. Since your time, attention, and energy all contribute to your productivity, working long hours can destroy your productivity because doing so compromises your energy and focus. When you work on your highest impact tasks during your prime time, you complete them faster, get more engrossed in them, do a noticeably better job on them, work on them with more resilience, and begin to work smarter instead of just harder. Tasks like cleaning, laundry, grocery shopping, etc. are both essential and time-consuming. Minute for minute, they provide you with an abysmal return compared to your most important and meaningful tasks. The best strategy to tackle maintenance tasks is either having a maintenance task day or batching all maintenance tasks. Lumping together your maintenance tasks, whether on a maintenance day or with a maintenance list, helps you eliminate spending too much time on them. And it gives you fewer lower return tasks to waste time on throughout the week, which gives you the time to focus on what's actually important. Parkinson's law states that work expands to fit the time available. Low impact, support tasks can distract from important work. Checking email frequently can derail focus and productivity. A study found that most people check email about every 15 minutes, which adds up to 32 times over an 8-hour day. When you check for new email 32 times a day, that's 32 times your attention is derailed from what you're supposed to be working on. Most emails only take a minute or 2 to respond to, but when you check your email dozens of times a day, that's countless times you have to transition from focusing on something important to focusing on email. Limiting the frequency of checking email and setting boundaries for distractions can increase productivity. Structuring support tasks can prevent them from taking up too much time or attention. Externalizing your tasks and writing them down is a powerful way to free up mental space and get organized. Our brains are terrible at consciously processing more than a few thoughts at once. Our brains are built for solving problems, connecting dots, and forming new ideas, not for holding on to information that we can simply externalize. Your mind is not the best place to store everything you have to get done. The first thing to do is to capture what's got your attention, then decide if it's actionable or not, and if it is, decide what the next action on it is, and do the action right then if you can. Any would, could, should commitment held only in the psyche creates irrational and unresolvable pressure. Incomplete or interrupted tasks weigh on our mind much more than completed tasks. Doing a daily and weekly review of your tasks and accomplishments not only gives you a better perspective on your wins and the areas you need to improve, but it also gives you more control over your life. Most productive people make course corrections every week to gradually get better at everything they do. Throughout the day, our minds oscillate between two modes: a wandering mode, which we experience during activities such as taking a shower, and a central executive mode, which we experience while using our smartphones or focusing on something intently. Even when we are completely focused on a task, our minds continue to work in the background like a computer with multiple windows open. A helpful ritual to include in your maintenance day or perform when you're feeling overwhelmed is a mind capture exercise. This technique can instantly create more attentional space for you, leading to a calmer mindset and increased productivity. The successful warrior is the average man, with laser-like focus. Bruce Lee. Developing a strong attention muscle is what makes it possible to focus more on the task at hand, which lets us spend our time and attention more efficiently in the moment. The less attention you devote to a task, the more time you have to spend to complete it, because you work less efficiently. To be more effective, put attention to the task at hand. 1 hour of intense focus on your work is worth 2 or 3 hours of focusing on your work 53% of the time. Whenever your mind wanders, don't worry, mind wandering is simply your brain's default mode. Here's a neat technique: when you're working hard on something important, just keep a notepad by your desk and make a note of every distraction or interruption that pops up and tempts you to interrupt what you are working on. Productivity isn't about doing more, faster, it's about doing the right things, deliberately and with intention. Working deliberately is the final missing piece of the productivity puzzle, but it's also the toughest. Dealing with distractions before they happen, like by shutting off alerts on your phone for new messages, helps you avoid attention hijacking interruptions. It can take as many as 25 minutes to refocus on the task at hand after being interrupted. It's also important to protect it from external distractions that will derail your focus and productivity. Studies show that your brain releases steady hits of dopamine when you work on more than one thing at once. Neurochemically speaking, your brain rewards you more when you multitask, compared to when you do just one thing at a time. But it's not just our limbic system that lusts after the sexy allure of multitasking. To make matters worse, the prefrontal cortex has a novelty bias, meaning that its attention can be easily hijacked by something new, the proverbial shiny objects we use to entice infants, puppies, and kittens. No part of your brain is safe. Multitasking makes you less productive because it makes you more prone to errors, adds stress to your work, takes longer because it costs you time and attention to switch between tasks, and even affects your memory. Much like being bombarded with interruptions and distractions, multitasking overloads your brain. Something incredible happens when, over time, you push back against your wandering mind and continually bring your attention back to your most important work. You strengthen your ability to focus your attention on a task. The single best way to work out and make your attention muscle strong is to meditate. Meditation helps you calm your brain and reduce the background noise of your mind. Meditation will also help you become more resilient to the challenges you face. And at the same time, meditation changes how you relate to your experiences. Meditation helps you focus more on your goals and on why you're doing them. You'll be more motivated to become more productive, if anything, because you'll have the clarity to see why you're doing what you're doing. To begin meditating, close your eyes and concentrate on your breathing. It's natural for your mind to wander, but when it does and notice that your mind is wandering, simply redirect your focus back to your breath. Eliminating sugar and processed food will have a huge impact on your energy and thereby your productivity. The amount of energy and focus that exercise provides you with in return for your time is incredible, and easily worth the challenge of integrating an exercise routine into your life. Biochemically speaking, exercise allows your brain to fight stress in a productive and controlled way. Exercise increases how much blood flows to your brain, which increases your mental performance and creativity. Studies show that in addition to bulking up your muscles, exercise quite literally bulks up your brain. When you exercise, your brain releases BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a chemical that helps you create new brain cells. A lot of this growth happens in the hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for memory. Exercise has even been shown to boost your mood and build cells in brain regions damaged by depression. If exercise would come in the form of a pill, it would have been a blockbuster drug to treat depression. Although cutting back on sleep saves you time, any amount of sleep you lose below the amount your body requires is not worth the productivity cost. Sleep is a way of exchanging your time for energy. The more sleep you get, up to the recommended 7 to 9 hours, the more energy you'll have the next day. Studies show that what time you wake up has no impact whatsoever on your socioeconomic standing, cognitive performance, or health. However, the amount and quality of sleep do impact your cognitive performance. The whole point of being productive is to be happy and contribute meaningfully to yourself, your work, family, community, country, and humanity at large. The downside of being hard on yourself and always thinking about being productive will make you less happy. When your brain is happy, it performs significantly better. Here are 5 action steps you can take to put these ideas immediately to work. 1. Use the idea of a brain dump to capture all the tasks that are capturing your attention right now. 2. Identify your values, purpose, and goals. Question why you want to be productive in the first place. Without a proper why, it is hard to be productive. 3. Beat procrastination by making the aversive tasks fun, aligning with your values, and thinking about your future self. 4. Practice the art of doing one thing at a time by eliminating distractions while working. 5. Make incremental changes in routine by adding quality sleep, diet, exercise, and meditation practice. This was the summary of the Productivity Project, presented by Animated Insights. If you like the video, please like and hit subscribe. It apparently helps with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for watching and stay productive.